The 1997 NBA Finals, Game 5. Michael Jordan has the flu. He is drained, dehydrated, feverish. The Utah Jazz arena is a screaming cauldron of noise. Everything in his body, everything in the environment, is a signal of chaos, weakness, and imminent defeat. And yet, he scores 38 points, including a critical three-pointer in the final minute that seals the game. Afterward, teammate Scottie Pippen had to help him off the court. He had nothing left. This performance, known as the flu game, is not just a story of physical toughness. It is a masterclass in the architecture of presence. In the eye of a hurricane of internal and external chaos, Jordan found a point of absolute stillness and operated from there. Welcome back to the inner game of greatness. Today, we enter the crucible. We explore how the world's greatest performers thrive under pressure. How do they quiet the noise? How do they harness fear? How do they find the eye of the storm and become the calm at the center of it all? This is where the inner vision architecture becomes a tool for real-time survival and execution. The master of pressure is a grand master of detection. In a high-stakes moment, the average person's attention becomes hijacked. It's scattered by the roar of the crowd, the fear of failure, the memory of past mistakes, the anticipation of future glory or shame. Their mental spotlight is like a strobe light in a tornado. The clutch performer, however, has trained their attention to be a laser. They can consciously detect what matters and let go of what doesn't. Think of a legendary samurai warrior, Miyamoto Musashi. In his classic text, The Book of Five Rings, he speaks of the difference between the observing eye and the perceiving eye. The perceiving eye gets stuck on details, the glint of the opponent's sword, the aggressive look on his face. The observing eye, however, sees the whole field at once, without getting attached to any single part. It is a soft, wide, receptive gaze. This is trained detection. It is the ability to hold your attention in a state of relaxed alertness, taking in all relevant information without being captured by any of it. When the pressure is on, the first thing to go is the breath. It becomes shallow, rapid, held high in the chest. This sends a panic signal to the brain. A master of pressure knows this. Their first act of detection is often to notice the state of their own breath. By consciously detecting their breathing and deliberately slowing it down, deepening it into the belly, they are sending a new signal back to the brain. We are in control. We are safe. It is a neurological reset button. This is the practical application of our architecture. You detect the inner signal of panic, shallow breath. You recognize the pattern. This is my stress response. You understand its function. It's preparing me for fight or flight. And then you consciously intervene with a new action, deep breathing, to build a different inner state. But it's not just about managing the body. It's about managing the mind. The greatest source of pressure is not the external situation. It's our internal story about the situation. This is where the skill of filtering becomes paramount. The amateur's mind, under pressure, filters for threat. What if I miss? What will they think of me? I'm going to blow it. The master's mind has learned to filter for the present moment. Phil Jackson, the legendary coach of both Jordan's Bulls and Bryant's Lakers, was a master of this. He introduced Zen Buddhist principles to his teams. He wasn't trying to turn them into monks. He was trying to teach them how to see their thoughts as clouds passing in the sky. To not cling to them, not fight them, just let them be. The practice was to filter for what was real, right now. The feel of the ball, the space on the court, the next play. Let the thoughts be clouds. Don't fly up and get lost in them. Stay on the ground of the present moment. This creates an inner sanctuary. The storm of thoughts and emotions can be raging, but there is a part of you that is untouched by it. The witness consciousness we have spoken of. Under pressure, you learn to take refuge in that quiet, observing self. You are not your fear. You are the one who is aware of the fear. This distinction is the source of all mental freedom. This allows for the highest level of transmission to occur. When the conscious, analytical mind is quieted, when it is not caught in loops of fear and doubt, a deeper intelligence can be transmitted. This is what athletes call being in the zone or the flow state. It is a state where action becomes effortless. Time seems to slow down. The sense of a separate self dissolves, and the player becomes one with the game. This cannot be forced. It can only be allowed. And it is allowed by creating the inner conditions of calm, focused presence. The thousands of hours of refinement in the grind built the skill. But it is the architecture of presence that allows that skill to be expressed, unimpeded, when it matters most. Kobe Bryant described this state perfectly. He said, "When I'm in that zone, I'm not thinking about anything. I'm just reacting. I'm in the moment." He trusted the work he had put in. He had transmitted the knowledge to his body, and now he could get his thinking mind out of the way and let the master within perform. The practice for cultivating this is to intentionally introduce pressure into your training. Don't just practice your craft. Practice it under simulated stress. A musician can practice in front of a small, critical audience. A speaker can practice with a timer and distractions. An athlete can add consequences to their drills. You are training your nervous system to remain calm and your attention to remain focused when the internal and external noise gets loud. You are building the inner architecture of your sanctuary brick by brick, so that when the real storm comes, you know the way home. In our next episode, we will confront the inevitable companion to pressure, failure. We will explore the architecture of resilience, deconstructing how the greatest minds don't just endure obstacles, they use them as the very material to build their strength, turning failure from a verdict into a vital part of the process. For now, consider this. Pressure is a privilege. It is a signal that you are in the arena, that what you are doing matters. The invitation is not to avoid pressure, but to change your relationship with it. Can you see it not as a threat, but as a fire that can forge you? Can you find the 1 square inch of stillness inside you even now? That is the eye of the storm, and it is always available, waiting to be detected.